Hey everybody, it's Russ. Welcome back to the channel. Today, a little different video. It's true. Disney did try something like this in the past. This idea of Disney buys AMC. And it was called Disney Quest. And it didn't last. So this is kind of a counterpoint video. And listen, I've always said my videos are speculation. I don't have any insider information. I don't have dates. I'm just saying, hey, I think I'm having fun. It's kind of like fantasy football, playing fantasy executive where you can make these decisions. And listen, this is a long shot at best, right? And companies do not make billion-dollar decisions because of, hashtags, right? But things can happen. You remember the movie Snakes on a Plane? There was an internet campaign that people wanted. They wanted Samuel L. Jackson to say, "I'm tired of these MF snakes on this MF plane." Though he didn't say MF. And they did it. They wanted to make the fans happy, so they filmed an insert shot of him saying that line. The movie had already been made, but they filmed the insert shot and they put it in the film to keep the fans happy. Those are the kind of things that can really happen with the grassroots campaign. But trust me, I get it. Unless Disney and AMC are already seriously in talks, this is a long shot at best. Because, the other thing is Disney has tried this regional entertainment idea in the past, and it didn't work so well. As far as I know, the regional entertainment department is gone. But what do I know? Like I said, I'm not an insider. Let's go back on why it's gone. Meet Virginia. Back a couple decades ago, Disney tried to build a new theme park in Virginia near Washington, D.C. Disney's America. Did not go so well. A lot of pushback from everybody from historians to environmentalists. Just did not go over well. Disney had to pull the plug on this idea. They did not win that battle, and they did not build that theme park. The Disney ESPN Zone, these big restaurants with the ESPN sports theme, they built 9 of these nationwide, and one by one they all disappeared. They couldn't be supported. So the Disney ESPN Zone, that went 0-9. And then the one that's more important to us is the Disney Quest. These were these virtual reality arcades. They had regular video games, but they had these really, for their time, advanced virtual reality rides. And it was a big place. There was one in Orlando. In fact, someone even tweeted me, or they made a comment, cough, Disney Quest, cough, when I was talking about this idea. At first, I didn't quite get it, but once I started researching this video, I knew what that comment meant. And it's true, this was tried and it failed. They had one in Orlando, and they built one in Chicago, and they were going to build one in Philadelphia, but they actually, by the time they could build it, they'd already closed the one in Chicago, I think, and they just gave up on it. Never got built, the one in Philadelphia. And the one in Orlando, it survived from 1998 to 2017, and they finally tore it down. So, speaking of tear it down, that's it, right? Game over, man. Game over. I should probably just shut this channel down. I was just being it's silly nonsense. That's right. You're right, Philly Buster. Silly nonsense. I'm just an AMC clown, right? Oh, Thackles, whatever that name is. Sorry if I'm misreading that. I should just quit. Like T-Berla 032003 says. Can you quit with this channel? You know when I should have quit? I should have quit at the very beginning. When I had this idea, I went to the channel I had, the Book Stories channel, and I told people, I made a post and I said, hey, I'm going to start this new channel called Disney Buys AMC, and I don't have any subscribers. Can you please go over there? Can someone subscribe to it so when I post my first video, it doesn't just sit there with 0 views? You know how many people came over? Yeah, I got one subscriber. You remember that? All right, it was Dennis Cab Jr. 4131. And I love you for that, Dennis. I thank you. Thank you for doing that. Guess how many subscribers we have now? We have 572 subscribers at the time I'm recording this video. Hey, I hate to break it to you, T. Barely, but I'm not quitting on them. I'm not going to quit. I'm an ape. I'm not going anywhere. And even if someone posts that, AMC is not going to get bought by Disney, or you give me whatever reason why this isn't going to happen, you know what, man? I'm going to buy the dip. I'm going to keep making videos. The show goes on, and we talked about the reasons why it didn't work necessarily with these other things, but let's talk about why it can work. How can we make sure, or what they could do to make sure that these Disney entertainment centers don't become the next Disney Quest that can't sustain themselves and last? I think the biggest thing about it is that the Disney Quest was, this high-end arcade, and that's kind of a new business model, different, something a little different, right? The good thing about the Disney Center is it's anchored by the movie business, and yes, the movie business is in transition. I totally agree with that. You cannot ignore streaming and what that means. Look, you got a good drama, you got a funny comedy, that's streaming stuff now, right? But if you've got a Pixar film, you've got a Disney animation film, you've got a Marvel film, big action film, or you got Avatar, that's got to be on the big screen, man. And the good thing is you can have those big movies, keep those screens for that, but then use the rest of that property, that real estate, to bring the Disney magic. Have that Disney cafe, have the Disney store, have touring Disney exhibits, props, anything from the studio. Disney has so many treasures that are just sitting in warehouses. Put that stuff on the road and let people see it. Wardrobe, props, share it with the people. Bring Disney to the people. I'll give you an example, all right? This is Grand Forks, North Dakota. Population 58,781. It's the third largest city in North Dakota. And I know, some people are going to snicker at that, but I chose this because Grand Forks is about 1,900 miles equally from Disneyland and Disney World. So whether you're going to go to Southern California, go Disneyland, or Disney World in Orlando, Florida, it's going to take about 6 days round trip to get there, because we're talking, in this instance, we're talking about a family of 4. They're not going to pull all-nighters and drive 24 hours a day. You're probably going to need 3 days to get there, 3 days to get back. So for this family of 4 that we're going to talk, these are working class family, right? They're not high earners, but they're hard workers. They make decent money. But they don't have a ton of time off, and to spend, almost a week just on the road, that's a lot. So the mom and the dad, and they talk, and they say, well, let's look at airplane tickets. Well, to get 4 airplane tickets, that's $1,000 each, $4,000 just for airplane tickets, right? That's just, none of that money goes to Disney. That goes to airlines, right? But the good thing is they saw there was a Disney package where they could stay at a Disney All-Star hotel, and they can use the free bus systems to go to the parks. They don't have to rent a car when they get there. But that hotel package for 4 days at the park and 4 days in the hotel, that's $3,500. So for this family of 4, a ballpark figure, basic ballpark figure, is at least about $7,500. And this family, they look at their finances. They got some credit card debt. They just can't do this, They want to send their kids to college one day, and maybe they're going to get one of the jobs that they never could have, right? So it hurts them to come to this decision, but they can't make it. They're going to find some other entertainment source for their kids. There's got to be another theme park that's closer. It's just not going to be Mickey Mouse, right? So in this scenario, the parks, they're just too far away. They're too isolated. But what if you had these Disney entertainment centers, and that Disney experience was much more closer? In fact, so close, there's actually an AMC in Grand Forks. Now, it's not the fanciest AMC, but let's just say Disney bought AMC and converted these theaters into this entertainment system. And yes, some places in New York, Los Angeles, they would get the real fancy ones, and other smaller ones, look, it's going to get a facelift, and there'll be some Disney stuff there, right? But here's the thing. Before every movie starts, they have this sort of Disney sizzle reel that plays like a movie trailer. And they have all these clips of going to the parks, like Space Mountain, all these rides, Everest, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, all the Toy Story rides. It's all there. And for that 1 minute or 2 minute, however long that trailer is, These two little kids in that family, they feel like they're at Disneyland. They've got that Mickey Mouse pretzel, they've got that Mickey Mouse ice cream bar, and they're watching this trip on, larger than life big screen, and every time they see it, they feel like they're at Disneyland. And for them, that is their Disneyland experience. And then when they come out of that movie, there's a Disney store, and usually their parents buy them something in there, because in their heart, they know they can never take them to the park. This is as close as they're going to get for now, unless something drastically changes, right? So this is their thing. And guess what? This Saturday, the Big Cheese himself and his buddy, Goofy, are going to be there. And the kids get to go, and they get to meet Mickey Mouse for the first time. And the parents get that treasured picture. You don't know how many times this mom is on Facebook, and she gets to see her other friends posting pictures of their kids meeting Mickey Mouse. And she knows she just can't do that for her kids. But now she can. Now she's got that picture. And her kid met Mickey, Minnie, Goofy. Every month a new one comes to town, and she takes her kids to meet them all. And that's what bringing Disney to the people means. That's what this hashtag means. So let's go over some actual numbers here, okay? To try and see if this, this idea works, right? We're not talking about little conspiracy things. We're not talking about Adam Aron's Mickey Mouse tie. We're not talking about Adam Aron posing with, a shark that looks like Bruce the Shark from Finding Nemo. We're going to talk about numbers, right? And we're going to focus on that $3,500 that it would cost this family for the park tickets and the hotel, that deal they would get from Disney. So $3,500, that's a once-in-a-lifetime trip for this family. So Disney can count on that one time, $3,500 from that family. But you know what? Let's break that $3,500 over 20 years, right? And that would be about, you figure a family of four, from little kids to maybe when they're in high school, maybe in college, that this family collectively might spend $3,500 at that AMC. So that's about $175 a year at the AMC they could be spending, right? $175, that breaks down roughly to about $15 a month. So do you think a family of four over 20 years might spend $15 a month at an AMC? I think they would. I think that's reasonable. And, there's this line, he gets on base. If you've ever seen the movie Moneyball, you know what that line means, that he gets on base. And Brad Pitt plays a general manager, Billy Beane of the Oakland A's. And they're losing all their big stars because they can't afford to re-sign them. And these are their big home run hitters. So his scouts are trying to find replacement players, for these big, home run hitters. And Billy Beane's telling them, we can't afford to go out and buy one of these stars, that what we got to do is we got to buy, lesser players that when combined, their on-base percentage average equals that big star. And that's how we can keep scoring runs and compete. We need baseball players that get on base. Hence the line, he gets on base. So every time he's talking, he always points at Jonah Hill. And Jonah Hill always says, why do they want that player? He gets on base. He gets on base. Check that clip out on YouTube. I'll try and leave a link down in the description to watch it. But that's the deal. He gets on base. And that's what these Disney centers do. They get a family into a Disney property spending money. Maybe it's not the Grand Slam, right? $3,500 for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Disneyland or Disney World. Maybe these are hits and walks. But over time, you can have that one-time lifetime, trip for $3,500, or over 20 years, you can accumulate that $3,500 by repeated trips to go. Now, and also keep this in mind, their families, they can afford that once-in-a-lifetime trip. But now they can also go to a local Disney center for entertainment for their family. So you know what? Combine them. Get that $7,000. Get them both. There's no reason why you can't get them both. And I just want to go back to one of the original premises that I talked about with these videos. Every kid should meet Mickey Mouse. Every parent should have that picture of their young kid with Mickey Mouse. It's just an iconic picture. It should not just be for kids that have parents that can afford to take them to one of these parks. And it is so expensive right now. I'm a former Disney employee. I can't afford to take my family right now to one of these parks. We live in Oregon, so it's a huge trip for us. It's a huge expense. And holding an AMC position that hasn't, had the MOASH yet, maybe afterwards, but right now, no way. But whether you have that experience at a Disney park or at a Disney Center, an AMC Disney Center, every kid should meet Mickey Mouse. And if I could drive my kids right now 15 minutes over to the AMC and get their picture of Mickey Mouse, you know how happy that would make me as a parent? How happy would it make you if you're a parent? That's why I want people to believe in this movement. If you believe in it, if you want it to spread, I know it's a long shot, but you know what? We can give it a try. If you like it, hit that subscribe button, watch this next video, and use that hashtag and spread this word and see what possibly could happen. Remember, he gets on base. Hashtag Disney buys AMC.